Well, hello everyone. Tonight going to do a quick video on a few firearms that I have and kind of the story behind it. It led me to my newest purchase that I found this weekend. Really lucked upon it. Pretty excited, so we'll go ahead and get started, but this is going to be a comparison against some compact size CZ75s. We're going to start with the PCR. So I've got a PCR. It is empty. It's got a magazine in there, and I'll be using that for a comparison. We'll go ahead and check that for everyone. If you could see that, all empty. So when I started with my CZ obsession, I started with a P07. It's a fantastic firearm. Shot it a lot. Qualified here in Texas for my concealed carry with that. Not too much of a challenge, but anyway, it was a great firearm. I really wanted to get into the steel guns. I have a P10, which won't be featured in this video. Love it. Stippled grip, put a red dot on there. It's great. However, I still wanted something in the steel fashion. I had a friend who had a PCR and really liked it, but didn't necessarily like the fact it doesn't have a rail on the front. It just looked kind of awkward to me, and as I've kind of grown and matured, I think it looks a lot better. But was looking for that P01. I really wanted to pick one up, and about 2 years ago, I couldn't find one, and it aggravated me. So I ended up finding in a local shop a PCR, and again, fantastic firearm, very smooth trigger. This one is one that has the combat trigger, I believe that's called, on there. It's got upgraded sights whenever I bought it, has the factory ones in the box. These I'm not too happy with. They're okay. They're a little bit big, so I'm looking at something that's a little bit different. But anyway, that's this firearm. It's great. That's going to kind of start our discussion today. The next one I picked up, in search of that still, the P01, the regular style P01, I ended up finding a P01 Omega, and since I've put a Streamlight on there, it's my carry gun, put some different grips on there. These are really comfortable. These are the lock grips, the Matrix style. I actually did a video on these where I had taken the blue grips and dyed them into a darker blue. Well, I've dyed them again. They're completely black now, and I really like this look. This is really what I wanted to go for. But it's comfortable. It's great. Me being left-handed, having the decocker on both sides is a plus. Not necessarily needed, but it is a plus. Not too long ago, I ended up upgrading the sights. The factory sights that aren't necessarily night sights, they just have that glowing paint on there. Didn't like them, so I upgraded to some Dawson blacked out rear and then fiber optic front. Very nice. Might switch that out to the green fiber optic. We will see, but really like this gun. It shoots great. I'm not overly thrilled with the Omega trigger inside the P01. I definitely liked it for the P07. However, I think that leaves a lot to be desired, especially compared to the PCR. So more to come with that. I definitely like this firearm. I carry it, so it's good. That leads to my newest pickup, which is my P01 steel frame, model number 99041. Really had been looking for one of these for a long time. It's kind of the unicorn P01 that I wanted, and I'll get to that here in a minute. But I threw on some grips that I had. Again, dyed them black. They were originally OD green, but the green didn't look the way I wanted it to, so I dyed it black. I already upgraded the sights to some of the pull-offs that I've had, so I put that factory P01 sight and then a front sight from another CZ that I had. I don't know if they're lined up or not. I just picked this up yesterday. I haven't shot it yet. So looking at ordering something different here in the near future, but I definitely like that green fiber optic that's on front there. It seems to be pretty good. So when I got it here, oiled it up. It was pretty clean, but gritty, dirty. Definitely this trigger, again, safety functioning, empty, no magazine, haha. It's definitely a good firearm. It's heavy. We'll get to weights here in just a second. But that trigger compared to the other two, even the Omega that I'm not overly thrilled with, it just, I wonder if the camera can pick that up. maybe not, but it's got a bunch of crunchiness to it. So very sloppy, definitely leaves a lot to be desired. So Cajun Gunworks, you're coming up. Definitely going to need you here soon. And just the decision to convert it to a single action or to keep it as the single double, we'll see. The reason I say that is I've got another video that some of you have probably watched of my SP01 that I've upgraded. It's empty. That I've upgraded with a single action conversion. Put a flashlight, milled it. It's the CZ SP01 Shadow. So it already came out of the box with a pretty decent trigger. So I'm a little spoiled with some of the guns that I've had. So I definitely want to do something with this P01. Probably going to make it into not necessarily a mini Shadow, but definitely something that is much smoother. I just have to decide if I want to convert it to that single action, which feels fantastic, or if I want to keep it as the double single. We'll just see how that works. This one has that new Vulcan reticle from HoloSun, Primary Arms collab. It's pretty cool. I like it. Super accurate tack driver. And then, you know, I gotta just show off. I bought this about a month or so ago. It's still fantastic. Super slick, super nice. Best trigger that I probably have at this point in a CZ. Cajun Gunworks, I'm talking to you. Let's see what we can do. Anyway, this is great. I'll be shooting USPSA. I just enrolled in that. Would like to get started. I've done some IDPA in the past, so looking to see how that works and if it's something I enjoy doing, which I imagine I probably will if I can run across some ammo. So anyway, there's the backstory. So anyway, back to these guns. Really like them. I really like that compact design. It doesn't shoot nearly as well as the SP01 or the Shadow, but for carrying, any of these are going to be fantastic. So the good thing is I've already got a holster for my PCR and our design holsters. Awesome. And then I have one for my P01 with the flashlight on there. So this one I'll have to put that light on if I want to carry it at any point in the future or get another holster. Either way, we'll just have to see how that works. So what I wanted to do is just some size comparisons and some weights of these three guns. Again, a little bit different because I have the flashlight on here. I can always take that off, but my goal was to just leave it on there. A lot of the comparison and weights we can do between the PCR and the steel framed P01. So what we'll do, move this stuff out of the way, get it on screen here. So let's just start with the PCR. And the reason I have all these magazines out here is I really wanted to put a loaded mag. This is full. This is the 15 round mags. So I'm going to put that on there. It's got a mixture of hollow points and just regular jacketed rounds. Not really mattering for the fact that I'm putting the same magazine in all three of these guns to do a weight comparison. So we'll plug that mag in there. Obviously, I'm not chambering around, so leave it alone. So we'll start with that and see where we're at. Let it zero. So if you look at the PCR, we're sitting at 33.9 ounces. So a little heavy compared to a lot of the carries. You know, I've carried my P10 before, and it's significantly less weight than what this one is. But again, still not too bad. I mean, I've carried this for 10, 12 hours a day on and off for about 2 years, and it's been fine. So pretty good. We'll put that one back down. Let's go to this Omega. It's got the light on there, so just remember that. Again, not chambering around. So that, even with the light, only a little bit more. I think that one, the PCR was 33.9. This is 35.8. So added about 2 ounces with the rail and the streamlight. Not a big deal. Pretty awesome. So again, very, very nice, very good carry gun. We'll look at probably doing some trigger upgrades in the future. I think the Cajun Gunworks has a kit for this that would be pretty good. We'll just see how that looks down the road. Okay, so anyway, 35.8. We got our big boy here. Again, we'll go ahead and drop that hammer. Throw that on there. we're looking at 43.5. So very, very hefty boy. Like the gun, it's awesome. I imagine, again, I have not shot it yet, so I'll be taking it out here over the next week or so. But I imagine it feels pretty good on the recoil impulse with it being that heavy, especially in the frame compared to some of these other guns, but we'll check that out. So the funny part about this is when we take a comparison of the P01 steel frame and we bring in the Shadow 2, you know, the Shadow 2 boasts it's 44 ounces to make it USPSA legal. I've put some different grips on there, changes the weight slightly. This one does not have a magazine. I can do the magazine comparison if you want, but let's just see how this stacks up. So you're talking 43.05. So you're saying the full-size Shadow 2, again, without a magazine, weighs more than the steel frame P01 with a magazine. So lots of weight that you're huffing around at that point. So again, we'll see what that ends up being, but I definitely still felt like I had to have it, felt like it was a deal. And then just for giggles, let's throw the SP01 on there with the Hollow Sun and the Streamlight. So you're looking at 43.35 ounces. Still a little bit heavier than what that the Shadow 2 is, but not too bad. This one would be great. I do have, knocking things over there. I do have a holster for this if I wanted to use it in competition or carry it around in an open carry, because, you know, this is super practical for open carry. Just kidding. But yeah, pretty awesome gun. I'm pretty happy with it. So what's next really is going to come down to what are my plans with each one of these guns. Not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. The Shadow 2, the SP01 Shadow, not going anywhere. They're fantastic. This guy, definitely going to get some work done. It's not going anywhere, but got to figure out what the overall goal for this one's going to be. I like it. Get that magazine back out of there before somebody throws a fit. But yeah, we'll have to see. I definitely see a Cajun Gunworks, the standard package in its future, and then from there, deciding whether or not I'm going to convert it to single action. The good thing is, since I have that Shadow that I've made single action, I have this extra trigger laying around. Pretty nice trigger. Definitely can't complain about it. And since Cajun Gunworks offers the kit without a trigger, I could always just pick that up and throw this in there and make a nice little compromise. And then always switch out to a single action down the road if I want. We'll just see what works. I have about 3 of these firing pin retaining pins. They'll all be going in these guns. I have not replaced any of these P01 or PCR models with that. Obviously the Shadows don't have the firing pin block, so not needed. But these 3 definitely could use those upgrades. I'm just waiting to do any type of other work to them before I do so. So anyway, yeah, guys, pretty awesome. It's a little bit of a long video. We're at 13 minutes already. So I'm going to go ahead and shut her down. I'll be doing more videos in the future, but thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions, comments, thoughts, rumors, whatever, throw it in the comments below. Definitely like this video if you enjoy seeing it. I'll be making more as long as people are wanting to see them. Subscribe if you want to get notifications. Hit that bell. But thank you all. Enjoy your day. Thank you. Got nothing else. Hopefully you like CZ, because that's what I got a lot of. All right, bye.